everyone, it's Ryan, and today I'll be talking about books that I've read in January and February. So I'm combining my January and February wrap up just because of last week of January I was so sick with a cold, and same with the beginning of the month of February, so I decided to combine the two. So yeah, I still read a decent amount of books for the past 2 months. I've read 5 books in each month, which is still a decent amount of books for me anyway. And yeah, I'm excited to talk about the books that I've read for the past few months. So let's get to the wrap up. So the first book that I've read in January is Love and Luck by Jenna Evans Welch. This is a companion novel to Love and Gelato, and this is basically about a girl who travels to Ireland to her aunt's wedding, and then there was a stuff that came up, and yeah, I really enjoyed this book. I enjoyed it as much as Love and Gelato, but I feel like I like Love and Gelato more than this one. But I know there's another companion novel to this. I think that's the last book in this series. It's called Love and Olive, which takes place in Greek, which I'm excited about. But yeah, I like the characters in here. I really like the story. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. So yeah, I gave this 4 stars. So the next book that I read in January, I read in January is The Promised Neverland Volume 9 by Kayu Shira. And again, I'm sorry if I mispronounced the author's name, but if you haven't read the first book in the series, it's about a group of orphans who was living a happy life, and then something mysterious happened outside of the orphanage that nobody had no idea what was going on, and then something bad happens, and the orphanage isn't as a happiest place as they seem. And I just really love this series. I am like halfway through the series at this point because there's only 20 volumes in total, and I just love this book. I love this series so much. I love the characters. I really like the story, and of course I know that when I first started reading this manga series, I thought it was a Peter Pan retelling because it has Neverland in the title, but of course it wasn't. So I'm still glad that I've read it, and I'm just excited to continue on with the series. But yeah, I gave this 5 stars. So the next book that I've read in January is The Goose Girl by Shannon Hale. This is a very popular book series that I've been on my TBR for the longest time, and I'm glad that I finally read this. But you haven't read this is the first book in the series, and it's about a girl who's has a power to communicate with animals, and then she has to travel to another country to a kingdom that she's gonna marry into. I'm trying to remember on top of my head, but I still remember liking the characters. I really like the world, and I know that there's 3 more books in the series, and it's told in different characters' point of view. That's from what I remember, and yeah, I do want to continue on with the series just because I like the world and I really like the characters, and yeah, and I give us 4 stars. And the next book that I've read in January is Starsight by Brandon Sanderson. This is the second book in the Skyward series, and you haven't read the first book. The first book is about a girl who wants to become a pilot like her father, but everybody considered her father as a coward and didn't want to allow her to be a pilot, and then the whole story goes from there. I enjoy this book, but not as much as the first book, unfortunately. I just hope I end up liking the third book in this series, because I think the story is very interesting. I really like the characters, and I also really like the world, and yeah, I do hope to continue on with the series. So yeah, and I also gave this 4 stars. So the last book that I've read in January is Spy Family Volume 2 by, sorry, I'm looking at my phone to make sure I get the authors right, Tetsuya Ando. I think that's how it's pronounced, but you haven't read the first volume. The first volume is about a spy whose mission is to start a family, and then he ends up adopting a telepathic girl, and then his wife is an assassin, but she doesn't know that she's an assassin, and oh boy, I just love this series so much. I love the characters. Sorry, my phone was being all weird there, but I just love this series so much. I really love Anya, I really love Midnight, and I really love, oh gosh, what's her name? Yor. I also love Yor. I just love these characters. I just really love the story, and I can't wait to continue on the series. I know the anime has already been out, and Kevin has watched the anime, and he enjoys it as much as he loves the anime, and I told him that I've been reading the manga, and I also enjoyed that. So I'm glad that my husband also loves this series as well, even though he's watched the anime and not read the manga like I have. But yeah, anyways, it was a 5-star read for me. So now for the books that I've read in February. The first book that I've read in February is One Punch Man Volume 2 by One. I think that's the author's name. Yeah, I think that's it. But it's basically a manga series about superheroes and a guy who wants to be a superhero for fun. And that's pretty much the premise of it. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it as much as the first book. And of course, it's very goofy. Like it's part of the... It's part of the story that guy just wants to be a superhero for fun, and all the bad guys are like, "Why are you a superhero then?" And it's just so funny. So yeah, I also like this as much as the first volume. So yeah, I gave this. I'm trying to remember. I gave the rating. Yeah, I gave this 4 stars. And the next book that I've read in February is Book of Night by Holly Black, and I'm trying to remember the synopsis on top of my head, but I have the synopsis right here. All I know about it was her adult fantasy debut, and it's almost like a urban fantasy kind of thing, and this witch is supposed to be like, there was a witch that was taking over her body and she doesn't know how to get rid of it or something like that. That's from the premise of, from what I remember reading it, and I unfortunately didn't enjoy this book. I know this was very hyped when it first came out, and some people either love it or not like it, and I know that I was doing this as one of my video projects that I did was giving more authors another chance, and that's what I did. And in another book that I've read for that, I'll talk about it after this one. And I know some people like Holly Black, but I just don't think she fits. I don't think her writing style fits for me as a reader anyway. I was hoping to like the characters, but I couldn't feel connected to the characters, unfortunately, and I felt the world was a bit confusing in my opinion. So yeah, I know the second book is coming out, but I'm not going to continue on with that series. So yeah, unfortunately, I gave this book 2 stars. Another book that I've read in February is Nigeria Jones by Ibisa Boy, and this is the other book that I gave authors another chance for my video that I gave authors a second chance, and I'm trying to remember on top of my head with this one, and I've read both of these books when I was 6, so that's why my memory was like a little fuzzy about those books at the moment, but I pulled it up on Goodreads, and it's about a girl whose father who raised to be in a part of the some kind of movement, and she wanted to go to regular school, but her father wouldn't allow her to, and that's pretty much it. I know it's like a coming of age story, which part of the book that I liked, but I did have issues about the father-daughter relationship in this book, and how there was just a lot of things that were like a bit confusing to me. And I know that this is like like I said, it's like a coming of age story, which the part that I do like about this, but I just couldn't feel connected to the story, and it's really sad for me just because, like, I know I haven't heard many people talk about it on BookTube, but I know that a lot of people praise this author, and I know many people liked Pride, which I also didn't like. I would have liked it more if I read it physically versus the audiobook, because I just couldn't feel connected to characters in that one either. But yeah, it's just part of me was just like, this is not the story for me, unfortunately, and I wish that I liked it, but again, I didn't enjoy it, but like I said, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good either, so it was like a middle for me, so it was a 3-star read for me. So the next book that I've read in February is Just a Boy and a Girl in a Little Canoe by Sarah Mylnosky. This is a companion novel to I See London, I See France, and I really did enjoy this. I know that this takes place in a camp, which I rarely read books about camps in general, and I did really enjoy the characters. I really liked the story, but there was part of me that felt like some parts of the book was a bit slow, just because like each chapter was like each week of the camp, which kind of bugged me a bit. Like some of the chapters are like over 50 pages, and I'm like, this feels unnecessary for me, and I feel like it should have been broke down even more, in my opinion. But I still really enjoyed the book overall, and I give us a 4 stars. So the last book that I've read in February is Things That We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. This is about a woman who's just left her fiance, stay and go into the town to meet up with her sister, and then her sister ends up having a daughter that our main character never met, and trying to get a guardianship to become a guardian of her niece, and that's pretty much the premise of it. I really enjoyed it as much as more than I thought I would. I really liked Nox. I really liked Naomi as a character. I really liked the family dynamic in this book, and I'm just surprised on how much I love this book. I feel like this is kind of the book that my grandma probably would enjoy. And you guys are new here. My grandma just loves romance books, and she always end up liking books that I recommend her. So I feel like with the like a bad boy, good girl trope in here, which I rarely enjoy in books, but I end up really enjoyed this book for that reason. But yeah, I am surprised on how much I like this book, and I can't wait to continue on with this series. And yeah, this was a 5-star read for me, surprisingly. So that's all for my books that I've read in January and February. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up and comment down below what books that you've read for the last 2 months, because I would like to know. And if you haven't already, click the subscribe button and click the bell icon so you can be notified when I post new videos. Also, you can follow me on social media like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Goodreads, which all links will be down below for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!